Welcome to our video on the world's top 10 pharmaceutical industries. Did you know that the global pharmaceutical industry was valued at over $1.3 trillion? These companies play a crucial role in developing and manufacturing life-saving drugs and treatments that help millions of people around the world. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 pharmaceutical companies by annual revenue and take a closer look at their most successful products, the number of employees they have, and how much they spend on research and development. So, buckle up and get ready for an exciting journey into the fascinating world of pharmaceuticals. Top 10 pharmaceutical industries by annual revenue. Johnson & Johnson $82.6 billion, Pfizer $51.8 billion, Roche $50.3 billion, Novartis $48.7 billion, Merck & Company $46.8 billion, Sanofi $42.2 billion, GlaxoSmithKline $38.9 billion, AbbVie $33.3 billion, Bristol-Myers Squibb $27.4 billion, Eli Lilly & Company $23.5 billion. Top 5 products with annual sales for each industry. Johnson & Johnson. Remicade $5.9 billion, Stelara $5.3 billion, Imbruvica $4.6 billion, Zytiga $3.6 billion, Darzalex $2.6 billion. Total employees 132,200. R&D spend $12.1 billion. 2. Pfizer. Prevnar 13 $5.9 billion, Ibrance $5.2 billion, Eliquis $4.9 billion, Lyrica $3.7 billion, Xeljanz $3.2 billion. Total employees 78,500. R&D spend $9.8 billion. 3. Roche. Rituxan, MabThera $7.5 billion, Avastin $7.2 billion, Herceptin $6.9 billion, Lucentis $2.3 billion, Perjeta $2.1 billion. Total employees 101,465. R&D spend $13.6 billion. 4. Novartis. Cosentyx $4.7 billion, Gilenya $3.4 billion, Tasigna $2.4 billion, Entresto $2.3 billion, Lucentis $2.1 billion. Total employees 110,000. R&D spend $9.9 billion. 5. Merck & Company. Keytruda $14.4 billion, Januvia, Janumet $5.5 billion, Gardasil $4.5 billion, Proquad, MMR2, Verivax $3.8 billion, Bridion $2.2 billion. Total employees 74,000. R&D spend $12.6 billion. 6. Sanofi. Dupixent $3.8 billion, Lantus $3.6 billion, Aubagio $1.6 billion, Praluent $0.6 billion, Kevzara $0.5 billion. Total employees 100,409. R&D spend $7.5 billion. 7. GlaxoSmithKline, Advair, Seretide $2.3 billion, Trelegy Ellipta $1.5 billion, Tivicay $1.4 billion, Shingrix $1.3 billion, Nucala $1 billion. Total employees 99,437. R&D spend $5.4 billion. 8. AbbVie, Humira $19.9 billion, Imbruvica $4.6 billion, Skyrizi $1.4 billion, Rinvoq $1.2 billion, Venclexta $1.1 billion. Total employees 47,000. R&D spend $5.6 billion. 9. Bristol Myers Squibb, Opdivo $7.2 billion, Eliquis $5.7 billion, Orencia $2.2 billion, Sprycel $2.1 billion, Yervoy $1.6 billion. Total employees 30,000. R&D spend $11.5 billion. 10. Eli Lilly and Company, Trulicity $5 billion, Humalog $3.9 billion, Taltz $2.5 billion, Alimta $2.3 billion, Jardiance $2 billion. Total employees 38,000. R&D spend $5.5 billion. In conclusion, the pharmaceutical industry is a vital aspect of healthcare and the economy. These top 10 companies generate billions of dollars in revenue and employ hundreds of thousands of people globally. The development of new drugs and treatments is a significant focus for these companies, with billions of dollars invested in research and development. It will be interesting to see the future trends and developments in the pharmaceutical industry as they strive to find new treatments and cures for various diseases and illnesses. Future trends. Now, let's talk about the future trends for these pharmaceutical industries. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought significant changes to the healthcare industry, and the pharmaceutical sector is no exception. The demand for vaccines and treatments has skyrocketed, and pharmaceutical companies have been working tirelessly to develop and distribute them. In addition, the industry will likely continue to prioritize the development of treatments for rare diseases, cancer, and other chronic conditions. With the growing aging population, there will be a higher demand for pharmaceutical products that can help manage age-related conditions such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Thank you for watching this video on the world's top 10 pharmaceutical companies. We hope you found it informative and interesting, and we look forward to exploring more exciting topics with you in the future.